Delivery driver kept asking to enter the house until the husband identified her face. Sarah and Harry planned a peaceful evening at home and ordered from their favorite Thai restaurant. When the doorbell rang, Sarah asked the delivery driver through the intercom to leave the food at the door. Instead, the woman insisted she needed to use their bathroom, pleading urgently. Sarah declined, but the woman grew more desperate, even threatening to make a mess outside if they didn't let her in. Alarmed, Sarah called Harry to the door. He was confused when the woman mentioned his name, but insisted he didn't know her. The tension rose as the woman refused to leave. Sarah and Harry were on edge, unsure of her intentions. Then, as they looked at her face, they suddenly realized something shocking. They suddenly remembered her from a troubling encounter at a restaurant in the past. She had been a waitress at a steakhouse where they had dined months ago. During that visit, the woman had stared at them intensely, making them uncomfortable. After she mixed up their order, an argument broke out, and the manager had fired her. Now, to their horror, they realized the delivery driver standing on their porch was the same woman, seemingly back to seek revenge. The couple grew increasingly uneasy as they tried to get her to leave. Sarah firmly asked her to go, and Harry threatened to call her boss. The woman, unfazed, brushed off the threat, claiming her boss never answered calls. Instead of backing down, her behavior became more erratic. She clutched the bag of food tightly, her voice growing louder and more frantic. Sarah, feeling overwhelmed, pleaded with Harry to call the police. Before Harry could make the call, the woman's frustration boiled over. With a sharp glare, she threw the food onto the ground, scattering its contents across the pavement. Sarah and Harry watched in shock, their anger replaced by dread when the situation escalated further. In an act of shocking defiance, the woman stepped into their garden and relieved herself right there among the flowers. Horrified and humiliated, Sarah and Harry could only watch as the woman finished her act, straightened up, and marched back to her car. She didn't look back as she drove away, leaving behind a trail of chaos and destruction. Shaken by what had happened, the couple immediately contacted the delivery company, desperate for answers. To their dismay, they learned the woman was no longer employed there. Her actions seemed to have been personal, not professional, which only deepened their unease. For days, Sarah and Harry struggled to shake off the sense of violation and fear that lingered after the encounter. They cleaned up the mess left behind, but the psychological scars remained. The feeling of being watched, of their privacy shattered, haunted them. Ultimately, they decided to move to a new home, hoping to start fresh and leave the unsettling memory behind. Yet, no matter how far they moved, the experience served as a chilling reminder of how fragile their sense of safety had become.